Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Alright, in this video we are from group 5 presenting material about part of speaks. First, I will introduction myself and my friend. I am Muhammad Rehan Maram and my group friends are Sinta Arnayanti and Maghfirah. Without further ado, let's get into the discussion. In learning English, of course, we often hear the terms noun, adjective, pronoun, and so on. These terms have an important role in the formation of a sentence. Similar to Indonesian, a sentence needs to have verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and more. Taken together, these important roles are called part of speaks. Part of speaks is classification of words that are categorized through their roles and functions in sentence of a language. By knowing the part of speaks, one can know the function of the word in a sentence. In addition, part of speaks is the first step that you need to learn when learning English. Its purpose is to understand sentence form in English. Parts of speaks have 8 types that have their respective duties in a sentence. Let's get acquainted further with each part of speaks and also its uses.
Nouns. Nouns are used to name people, things, animals, place, ideas, or concepts. As the name implies, nouns are used to mark an object. Usually, at the beginning of a noun there is a particle and another. In a sentence, a noun can function as a subject, object, or proposition. Nouns are divided into 7 types, namely: Number 1. Countable, or nouns that can be counted, because obviously the number can be counted easily. For example, book, car, pond, bottle, elephant, and train. Number 2. Uncountable is the opposite of countable. Noun of this type can be counted in number, or object that are so numerous that they can be counted. Example: air, sand, rice, milk, snow, love, sand, and happiness. Number 3. Proper noun. A proper noun is a noun in the form of a name or nickname, so that the first letter is capitalized. Proper nouns can also be referred to as specific noun, referring to the naming of an object, nickname, or name. For example, Indonesia, England, Everest, Sahara, Simon, Switzerland, Jakarta, January, and so on. Number 4. Common nouns. The opposite of proper nouns. Common nouns are common nouns so that the first letters of common nouns are not capitalized. For example, country, city, month. The four nouns do not specially mention the names of the country, city, month, and month referred to in sentence. Number 6. Concrete noun. This noun is something tangible and the word is material. For example, cheese, chocolate, table, hat, bag, cake, and baldi. Abstract noun. The number 6. As the name implies, the noun expresses abstract things such as ideas, concepts, circumstance, feelings, and so on. For example, time, idea, imagination. Number 7. Collective noun is a noun or noun that is collective or a collection or group name of refers to a group of animals, people, or objects. For example, couple, staff, government, utilities, family. Number 2. Pronoun. A pronoun is a word that is used to replace a noun. The use of pronouns can prevent the repetition of words that can cause the discourse that is vile is not good. Types of pronouns and example. Number 1. Personal is a pronoun to replace pointing words, namely I, you, we, they, he, she, it, them. Number 2. Demonstrative to replace demonstrative words according to the number and distance. For example, this, that, this. Number 3. Interrogative to ask a question. For example, who, which, what, whom, was. Number 4. Indefinite to express general things. For example, another, anything, everyone, everything, someone, none, nothing, and anywhere. 5. Possessive to show ownership of ownership. For example, mine, your, hers, his. 6. Reciprocal to show the word when two or more of the subject perform the same action against each other. For example, each other, on another. 7. Relative for relative clauses. For example, who, which, whom, was. 8. Reflexive to state the subject receive the action of the verb. For example, myself, yourself, ourselves, themselves. 9. Intensive, for example, himself, himself, ourselves, and themselves. Number 3. Verb. Verb is a verb that is used to express the action or state of subject to indicate events or circumstance. Verbs can be divided into several types, namely: Number 1. Action transitive verb show action or ownership, and its use is followed by a direct object. For example, have, give, write, else, buy, hit, make, show, eat, drink, sit, stand. Number 2. Action transitive verb. The opposite of transitive verb show action but is not followed by a direct object. For example, arrive, rise, wait, come, go, smile, wait. Number 3. Linking verb. A verb that shows connection the subject. For example, tests, be, remain, age, look, seem. As the number 4. Adjective. Adjectives are adjectives that are used to describe a noun or pronoun. Unlike the previous 3 speech of X, adjectives have no other form or type. Example: pretty, sad, faithful, beautiful, angry, pretty, ugly, and handsome.
5. Par or speak. Adverb. As an adverb, the function of an adverb is to provide additional information on the verb, adjective, or an adverb itself. Adverb can also be grouped into several types, namely: 1. Adverb of manner is an adverb that is used to express the way or how a job is done. For example, fast, softly, quickly, well, slowly, hard. 2. Adverb of degree is an adverb used to state to what extension, level, or degree an activity or event is. For example, a noun: so, very, too, quick, just, almost. 3. Adverb of frequency is an adverb that states how often an activity or event is carried out or occurs. For example, usually, rarely, always, often, sometimes, barely, daily. 4. Adverb of place is an adverb that is used to express the place and direction of the occurrence of an activity or event. For example, behind, in, below, above, somewhere, nearby. 5. Adverb of time is an adverb that is used to express when an action or event occurs. For example, yesterday, this morning, this afternoon, daily, recently, tonight, early. The 6th part or speak. Preposition. Prepositions are used to show the relationship between nouns and other words in a sentence. Prepositions are divided into 6 types, namely: 1. Preposition of time, for example, after, during, until, since, before. 2. Preposition of place, for example, in, on, at, above, under. 3. Preposition of movement, for example, inside, outside, into, towards, up, out. 4. Preposition of manner, for example, without, like, by. 5. Preposition of purpose, for example, for. 6. Preposition of measure or quality, for example, by and for. 7. Part or speak. Conjunction. Conjunction are used to connect two words, provide clause, so that they become a sentence. Conjunction is divided into 4 types as follows. 1. Coordination conjunction, namely conjunction that connect two grammatical forms that are the same. For example, and, but, yet, or, for, so. 2. Subordination conjunction, namely conjunction that connect the main clause with the subordinate clause. For example, since, throughout, after. 3. Correlative conjunction, namely conjunction is pairs, for example, either or, between and, from to, rather than, if then. Number 4. Conjunctive adverb is a conjunction that connect two consecutive independent clauses logically. For example, at least, beside, however, hence, then. And lastly, the type of part of speak in interjection. Interjection is a word used to express a different level or emotion or person feelings, which is usually followed by an exclamation point. For example, oh, express sympathy. Example for tension. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Next, oh, expression surprise. Oh, what kind of bug is that? Next, expression surprise. Oh, he did not come here last night. Next, expression pain. Oh, I have cramps on my knees. Expression hope. Oh God, please help me. For example, verb humble. It's just a lot. Next, expression of comfort. You make her feel so good. Next, dissatisfaction. I lost this game again. Expression awareness. I understand she does not love me. Expression sadness. Verb Alice. Example, Alice, why must that accident happen? Verb dear, express sympathy or pity. Oh dear, are you okay? Expression pain. Verb ouch. Example, ouch, I cut my finger. And let's expression admiration. For wow. Example, wow, that's correct, it's just awesome.
From the explanation above, it can be concluded that parts of speech in English means the types of words of word classes. Called parts of speech because the parts of speech are parts of sentence. So, these words are the basic ingredients in a building sentence, not the function of the word in the sentence. There are several types of part of speech, namely noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjection. Each type has a different meaning and function. Maybe this is the explanation from our group regarding the part of speech material. Hopefully, friends who are watching can understand and apologize if there are errors in the explanation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.